show to be up to date on happenings around you and to make that easy for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTV and radio.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTV and radio. It is a beautiful morning from this side, and we're sharing the glad tidings of being beautiful with you. This is Freshlight, where we'll get to bring to you fresh newspaper headlines on a daily basis. Monday to Saturdays, you have the opportunity of listening to us, different personality on Freshlight. I am Oluwafisayomi Ajibola. This morning we will be parading Daily Sun, Leadership, Vanguard and Punch newspaper one after the other. Starting with Daily Sun this morning, you will see this cover page. Tinubu's Hamas falls again, smashes EFCC chairman. It has rider like other probe of Bawa, director of operations to act. Kwara boat mishap. Tinubu orders probe of death toll rises to 106. Labour vows to push for immediate salary awards to lessen effect of subsidy removal. Bandit attack mourners, kidnap policemen, 2 others in Benue. Rep declares Bujabia Miller seat vacant. And also on the return, Nigeria sells for Naira sells for 755 naira per dollar. As FG gives banks power to decide forex rate. These, among others, are what you can see on the cover page of Sun, Daily Sun newspaper as published this morning. Giving attention to the headline, Tinubu signs data protection bill into law. President Bola Tinubu has signed the Nigerian Data Protection Bill 2023 into law. The Nigerian Data Protection Act 2023 provides a legal framework for the protections of personal information and the practice of data protection in Nigeria. National Commissioner, Nigerian Data Protection Bureau (NDPB), Dr. Vincent Olasonji, described this as the NDPO Strategic Roadmap and Action Plan (SRAP) validation workshop in Abuja. Tinubu signs data protection bill into law. Daily Sun has the details. Also on Daily Sun, you will see this headline: Tinubu suspends EFCC chairman indefinitely. President Bola Tinubu has approved the indefinite suspension of Mr. Abdurrashid Bawa as the chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). The suspension is to allow for proper investigation into his conduct while in office. A statement issued by the Director of Information in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Willie Bassi, said the suspension followed weighty allegations of abuse of office leveled against him. Tinubu suspend EFCC chairman indefinitely. Daily Sun has the details. Let's also look at Obi INEC lawyer trade words over summons on commission's chairman. Obi INEC trade words over summons of commission's chairman. Labour Party LP and its candidate Peter Obi yesterday accused the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Yakubu Mahmood, of refusing to accept a subpoena. A subpoena issued on him to produce some vital documents issued for the February 25 elections before the Presidential Elections Petitions Court, PEPC. The accusation, which did not go down well with the legal team to the electoral umpire, gave rise to blame games between the petitioners and INEC at yesterday's proceeding. It all started when the lead counsel to the petitioner, Livio Zogwe, informed the court that he was yet to get all the documents for his case and that INEC chairman has refused to accept a summons from the bailiff of the court in this regard. Obi INEC lawyers trade words over summons commission's chairman. The Daily Sun is reporting that. Also this morning, you will see this headline. Begin students' loan disbursement September. The federal government has hinted of plans to grant full autonomy for universities and hands off their funding. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Education, David Adejo, who made the disclosure in Abuja yesterday, said the decision was not as a result of the recently signed Student Loan Act, but out of the desire of the federal government to improve access to quality and affordable education. Student loan, federal government puts more financial burden on students, FG. Student loan, federal government not ready to put financial burden on students, FG. That is also available on Daily Sun this morning. Moving on to another newspaper that has published this morning, let's look at the cover page of the Leadership newspaper. On Leadership newspaper this morning, you will see the big headline. Tinubu begins monetary policy reforms, floats Naira. DSS Kuzu suspended EFCC chairman, Bawa. Subsidy remover, reps tax FG on palliative measures. Also, on the cover page, you will see this. Nupeng, NSDC, face off. Audi orders Rivers commandant to step aside. Nupeng, NSDC face off. Audi orders Rivers commandant to step aside. These and some other stories are what you can see on Leadership newspaper this morning. Okay, let's give attention to these stories one after the other. Okay, starting with Tinubu begins monetary policy reforms. Tinubu begins monetary policy reforms. Floats Naira. I beg your pardon. CBN collapses Forex into import and export window. Scraps RT200 rebate. Naira for dollar transmittance schemes. Expert optimistic as equities market gain 2.2 trillion in 2 days. These are the riders to these financial stories, and the details has it that in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's promise to carry out monetary policy reforms, particularly to ensure a simple exchange rate for Nigeria, the new management of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, yesterday adopted a clean float of foreign exchange management, a possibility it foreclosed for years. In his press statement signed by his director in charge of the financial market, Angela Siri Jembe, the Apex Bank announced immediate changes to operations of the Nigerian Forex Exchange FX market. To read details of that financial story, pick up a copy of Leadership newspaper. You will see this headline: Tinubu begins monetary policy reforms, floats Naira. Work with Tinubu, Ghana tells 10th Assembly. Former Minister of Information, Professor Jerry Ghana, has called on the 10th National Assembly to cooperate with the executive to ensure rapid development in all sectors of the economy. Ghana stated this during the post-inauguration ceremony of his son, Honorable Joshua Ghana, a member elected to represent Lavun Edati and Mokwa Federal Constituency of Niger State in the House of Representatives. The former minister said Nigeria are expecting a time of rapid development from President Bola Tinubu-led government because the country has been moving at a very, very slow speed. Work with Tinubu, Ghana tells 10th Assembly. That is also available on the Leadership newspaper. Also on Leadership newspaper, you will see NCC tax telcos on network security, consumer safety. Okay, that is available on the Leadership newspaper. Looking at the details of that story, let's look at these details. NCC tax telcos on network security, consumer safety. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has directed mobile network operators, MNOs, and Internet Service Provider, ISP, in the country to comply with regulatory framework explained and placed by the Commission's network towards ensuring security and safety of their networks for telcos consumers. According to a statement issued on Wednesday by the Director of Public Affairs of the NCC, Ruben Moka, the Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Professor Umar Dambata, gave the charge at the 2023 Annual Nigerian Digital Science Forum focus on Internet Governance for Development, which took place in Lagos recently. NCC tax telcos on network security, consumer safety. That is also on Leadership. And lastly, on Leadership newspaper, Justin, Naira to trade freely against dollar. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has given commercial banks and dealers in the forex market the green light to sell forex freely, which is at the market-determined rate. This in line with the promise of President Bola Tinubu to unify the multiple exchange rates in the market. The development means banks can now sell forex at market-determined rate, suggesting Nigeria is now operating a freely floating exchange rate. Just in, Naira to trade freely against dollar. The Leadership newspaper has this. We'll go for a commercial break. When we'll come back, we'll look at the other two newspapers we have left on our shelves. Do stay with us on Freshlight.
Gbogbo aláfẹ́ tó gbayì tó fẹ́ wọṣọ yìí ṣoge tó pàgbàmù ló ń kọjá lọ sí House of Zayana. The name when we talk of top-notch fashion, quality class, House of Zayana lẹ́tí máa rójúlówó Turkey wears, Egypt and Malaysia clothing, Dubai, àwọn designer bags lóríṣiríṣi, àwọn ìtẹ̀lẹ̀ bàtà tó jiná tí wọ́n fawọ́ original ṣe, àwọn aago kájọ́ tó ń ka wákàtí ọjọ́, designer sunglasses and perfumes, pẹ̀lú àwọn gbogbo ìrìn àsìkò fi ń gbafẹ́ lò gbà. Mo débẹ̀ ojú mi ń ṣe kámi, èmi ni ó rà, èmi ni ó mú. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí ẹlẹ́sìn tẹ́ gbòógè gbọ́n pa fashion tẹ́ wá nílò jàlábíà ìtì àbáyà lóríṣiríṣi. House of Zayana lẹ́ò ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ rà. House of Zayana wà ní 52 Ọlọ́run ṣògo road adjacent Redeemed Church Agape Parish Ọlọ́run ṣògo Abẹ́òkúta. Lórí Instagram House of Zayana 08165688618. House of Zayana ilé ìtajà tá a ti ń tojúlówó aṣọ àti nǹkan aṣaralóge tí ń gbéni níyì. Gbogbo aláfẹ́ tó gbayì tó fẹ́ wọṣọ yìí ṣoge tó padà lọ sí House of Zayana. House of Zayana, the name I know when we talk of top-notch fashion, materials and class. House of Zayana, Egypt and Malaysia clothing, Dubai, àwọn designer bags lóríṣiríṣi, àwọn ìtẹ̀lẹ̀ bàtà tó jiná tí wọ́n fawọ́ original ṣe, àwọn aago kájọ́ tó ń ka wákàtí ọjọ́, designer sunglasses and perfumes, pẹ̀lú àwọn gbogbo nǹkan tóbìnrin àsìkò fi ń gbafẹ́
lògbà mo débẹ̀ ojú mi ń ṣe kámi èmi ni ó rà èmi ni ó mú gbogbo ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí ẹlẹ́sìn tẹ́ gbòógì gbọ́npa fashion tẹ́ wá nílò jàlábíà hijab àti àbáyà lóríṣiríṣi House of Zayana lẹ́ò ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ rà House of Zayana wà ní 52 ọlọ́run ṣògo road adjacent Redeemed Church Agape Parish ọlọ́run ṣògo abda lórí Instagram House of Zayana 081656886 House ilé ìtajà tá a ti ń tojúlówó aṣọ àti nǹkan aṣaralóge tí ń gbéni níyì.
Thousands have been disappointed severally in their bid to seek greener pasture abroad. To those quack in the traveling agency business, it is a rocket science. That is not our case at Taustaf Travels and Tour. We have in-depth details on how to successfully, without stress, help you process and secure your visa to anywhere in the world. Do you want permanent residential visa, visit tourism visa, student visa, to places like Europe, America, Asia, Africa? It's no big deal to us at Taustaf Travels and Tour. Our years of experience and expertise speaks volume for us. Let's process and secure visa for you, USA and Canada, within a twinkle of an eye. We offer Hajj and Umrah services to our Muslim faithfuls. What are you waiting for? Consult us at number 9 Taustaf Central Mall, Sholanke Street, behind Laroy Hotel, Abiola Way, Abeokuta. 0802 733-0900 or 0806-578-4060. Stop wasting money. Pay for peace of mind. Talk to Taustaf Travels and Tour.
Welcome back to Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTV and radio. Now going to Vanguard newspaper. On Vanguard newspaper, you will see cover stories on the cover page that includes these. Naira depreciates to 664.04 per dollar. CBN removes restriction. Student loan, ASUP say no to tuition fee hike. And also, you will see Tinubu suspend EFCC boss Bawa indefinitely. These and among others are what you can see on the cover page of Vanguard as published this morning. Starting with that of the student loan. Student loan, ASUP said no to tuition fee hike. Lecturers in the nation's universities and polytechnics have warned the federal government not to toy with the idea of increasing tuition fees by hiding under the guise that they have set up a student loan scheme through which students can source for money to finance their education. This is just as the lecturers expressed doubt about the workability of the scheme given the condition that the beneficiary should start to repay 2 years after completing the National Youth Service Scheme NYSC in the face of the difficulties by graduates in securing jobs after graduation. Defaulting in the repayment of the loan or aiding to default attracts a fine of 500,000 naira or 2 years imprisonment or both. The scheme starts in September this year, according to the federal government yesterday. Student loan, ASUP said no to tuition fee hike. The Vanguard has the details. 12 illegal immigrants from Mali, Niger Republic in police net in Kano. The police command in Kano State has confirmed the arrest of 12 illegal immigrants from Mali and Niger Republic. It also confirmed the arrest of 33 other suspected criminals. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mahmoud Hussain Garnet, made this known while addressing newsmen in Kano on Wednesday. The illegal immigrants consisted of 7 Malians and 5 Nigerian national deportees from Saudi Arabia, he said. 12 illegal immigrants from Mali, Niger Republic, in police net in Kano. We have restored power after fire incident at Lagos Transmission Station, says NTCN. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says it has restored power supply to its Alagbon Transmission Substation after a fire incident. The incident happened at about 4:32 p.m. on Wednesday, affected one of the 60 megavolt ampere power transformer in the substation. Mrs. Indi Dimba, General Manager Public Affairs of TCN, made this known in a statement in Abuja on Thursday. According to her, the operators on duties heard a heavy bang from the switch yard and immediately moved to investigate the sound and found fire under the cooling fins of the transformer. We have restored power after fire incident at Lagos Transmission Station, TCN. That is on Vanguard newspaper this morning. Okay, let's go to our last newspaper for today, which is the Punch newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, you will see cover stories like private sector economists back CBN, Naira falls to 664 Naira per dollar. You will also see the story that virtually all newspapers this morning. Tinubu suspend EFCC chairman, Bawa indefinitely. Student loan disbursement begins in September. President projects 500,000 jobs with data protection law. Also, you will see how police brutalize stripped lady over courtesan allegation. The picture is available on Punch newspaper where the person was being brutalized. Okay, let's quickly look at the details of the stories on Punch newspaper as published this morning. Okay, let's start from a political story. Then we'll move to other story. Currency floating. Private sector economics back CBN as Naira falls to 664 Naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria has directed deposit money banks to remove the rate cap on the Naira at the official investors and exporters windows of the foreign exchange markets to allow dollar and the other global currencies. These came barely 2 weeks after President Bola Tinubu promised to unify the nation's multiple exchange rates and less than a week before the suspension and detention of CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, whose unorthodox monetary policies had become a stumbling block to the investors and the economy. Currency floating. Private sector economics back CBN as Naira falls to 664 Naira per dollar. Going to the Metro page of Punch newspaper. Man in court for paying prostitutes with fraudulent alert. A man, Oluwafisayomi, has been brought before a chief magistrate court in Ondo State for allegedly defrauding 4 prostitutes of 45,000 Naira. The victim said Damilola patronized them for sex, and after offering him their services, he paid them by generating a fake alert. It was learned that the case was reported to the police, and Damilola was arrested and subsequently charged to court on 2 counts bordering on fraud. The police prosecutor Akano Moremi said the defendant committed the offense in October 2022 in the Sabo area of Ondo State. Man in court for paying prostitute with fraudulent alert. Punch Metro has the details. Going to the sports page of Punch newspaper. Journalist barred from Eagles training. Journalists were on Wednesday denied access to the Mobolaji Johnson Arena Lagos, where the Super Eagles had their routine training section ahead of the 2023 AFCON qualifier against Sierra Leone in Monrovia on Sunday. Eagles media officer Femi Raji had sent a WhatsApp message indicating the team would train in the evening with media personnel allowed to cover the section. The message read, AFCON 2023 qualifier June 14, 2023, training 5:55 p.m. venue Mobolaji Johnson Arena, media access. But a soldier, police officers, and officials of the Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps ordered journalists out of the stadium around 5 p.m. around the match between Sporting Lagos and Smart City. This was after a police officer announced that he had received a new directive from the Chief Security Officer of the Super Eagles asking all pressmen to leave the stadium. Journalist barred from Eagles training. The Punch has that story. On that note, I say thank you for listening to Fresh Light this lovely Thursday morning. Join us again tomorrow for the Friday edition as we'll be looking at fresh headlines from our tabloids. I remain Oluwafisayomi Ajibola. Continue to be a guest on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio on YouTube. Subscribe, click the notification button so that our content can always pop up. Follow us on other social media platforms, be it Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. We are there for your pleasure. Thank you and do enjoy the rest of your day.